Hello friends, colleagues, and associates. I'm Vincenti from VincentiIL, and today we're playing some more StarCraft 2 co-op missions. Today we're playing with the new commander, Mengsk. Came out pretty recently. This mission I'm playing with my second account and just going solo. I was having trouble queuing up because this was pretty soon after it first came out. Right off the bat, you see for my mastery I start with 50 Imperial Mandate points, and basically using that to get that second expansion right away. With this plan, you end up getting the second base pretty much up and running by the 2-minute mark, 1 minute 30 seconds. Really powerful to get a really strong start on the economy. You can call those troopers down. As soon as they clear out the expansion, you can convert them into laborers. And a lot of people, I'm not sure a lot of people know about this, but they can have multiple builders working on the same building at the same time. So you can see here, kind of like Swan's SCVs, they can get that second expansion, they can get that second command center, or enlistment center rather, going like immediately. So really powerful. And then by the time it's done, you have all, halfway done with saturating that base. With Kerrigan, all I'm going to do right here is saturate Kerrigan's base. But other than that, I'm not going to use it for anything else. I'm even going to build a third enlistment center and use that for the third expansion there eventually. But first thing really with this is just to get that economy going pretty much immediately. I'm going to keep using that mechanic over and over again to get all of the infrastructure, all the tech buildings going. And then another thing that's really cool is that the troopers, even when they're in trooper form, they can build supply bunkers. Once you have all of your bases saturated, you don't have to waste any of them to build any supply bunkers if you're about to get supply blocked. We're going to use this handful of troopers to fend off the first wave. Then after that, we're going to go ahead and get the starports going as quick as possible. The Imperial Mandate, so the top-down bars, basically they use Imperial Mandate, which is basically what they call the energy for Mengsk as a commander. And the way that we're going to get that to increase much more quickly is by getting a bunch of the Imperial Witnesses. They're basically like ravens, but they help you increase your energy a lot quicker. We'll get to that in a second. We'll make a couple of starports, but first thing we're going to do is get these troopers going and equip them with flamethrowers. So basically they become little fire bats, and that's usually a first good choice for the first wave. It's usually like zealots or marines or zerglings, but yeah, it ends up being pretty powerful. And here we're going to go ahead and get both of the starports, but with the troopers we ended up getting a few of them to be the flamethrower ones, and then the other handful of them we're going to use the anti-air. The anti-air rockets are really strong. They're pretty powerful against air units, or anything that can be targeted by anti-air, including these void thrashers, so it'll help knock that down pretty quickly. And as you can see, we're building up quite the economy. We have a pretty big bank going. And in a little bit you'll see I'm going to build all of the tech structures. We're going to do one of each except for the fusion core, which is going to be... Fusion core is going to be 2 of those, because there are a bunch of upgrades that come out of there. So you can see here, those are the Imperial Witnesses, and we're eventually going to have 3 of them that aren't going to be with the army. You'll see in a little bit we're going to queue them up to be in their static mode. I don't know I forget what it's called, but the mode where they're going to make a bunch of Imperial Mandate, and we're going to set them up right where all the workers are, and they're not going to be with our main army at all. And that'll basically make it so that once we have all of them set up, we're going to basically be at the full Imperial Mandate for pretty much most of the game, once we get them set up, of course. Here we're just getting the rest of the tech buildings. Right there, like I said, we're going to do the double fusion core.
Enemies inbound. Will they never stop clawing at me?
For the units that come out of the bunker, the factory, the starport, I tend to actually kind of leave those as they are. I tend to only get a handful of them, like, yeah, for the marauders, and I tend to get maybe like 1 or 2 of each of them, and then focus most of the resources, the rest of the resources, to get the troopers, because they're pretty expendable, even though, yeah, they're pretty cheap.
Empire's right behind me.
And here we are working on getting the second base, or the third base going as well.
They're everywhere.
With the Imperial Witnesses, we're basically the ones that do stay with the army. We're going to pretty much keep them kind of bunny hopping so that they're always within range, or so that they're always doing their Imperial Mandate thing with the army as well. Yeah, all of the troopers end up being pretty fragile, obviously. They end up working really well if you have someone who can make a lot of tanky units that can absorb a lot of damage.
Yes. More supply bunkers, more guns. Simple. Look, who's resisting us? Make it quick.
Yeah, Kerrigan can end up absorbing a lot of the shots before everything gets started.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
In it together. On time, on target.
Here you can see I'm using the troopers to build the supply bunkers as needed.
I've been clear about where you camped. My dominion, right or wrong.
But yeah, I do need to. Looks like I forgot to get. Oh, one of the Imperial Witnesses needs to go back to that second base. I'll probably end up doing that in a little bit. But I definitely like having at least 1 Thor and 1 battle cruiser at all times, because they do give bonuses to the main units. Here you can see we're at 100 at the Imperial Mandate. Sometimes I like to use the nuke, sometimes I like to use the zerg. Here I'm just gearing up all of my troopers, making sure they've all got at least some kind of advanced weapon. Again, mostly focusing on the fire flamethrower one and the anti-air rocket one. There we go, sending one of those guys to do the Imperial Watcher thing. We do end up getting quite a few medevacs too, or whatever they're called, intercessors. I don't think I'm working on upgrades. I think this game wasn't very good as far as getting all those upgrades, though.
You have my attention.
But yeah, here we're going to go ahead and use, I think we end up using the Zerg one, which is really powerful. Oh, here we go with the upgrades. But using the Zerg Calldown helps you absorb, like, helps buffer a lot of the damage that you could take. But I think I end up using the nuke for this one, because, I mean, it's 41 nukes. Boom. Yeah, that annihilated everything there. Except for the Void Thrashers, but... most of the time I actually prefer using the Zerg Calldown because they end up lasting a little bit longer and they help clear a lot of areas really quickly. Here I wasn't paying attention and we got a wave that took out a bunch of our supply bunkers there. But yeah, we do clear out this wave. Yeah, I lost quite a few of those more expensive units, but I mean, we're still winning, and again, I'm doing this pretty much solo. We are maxed out there. But yeah, the battle cruisers and the Thors give bonuses to the troopers, or to really all of the units.
Our enemies are mustering. Prepare yourself.
Yeah, using these calldowns help soften things up a little bit. And then we're going to go for the bonus objective here. Yeah, Kerrigan kind of helps a lot with this. So we cleared that, and then we're basically going to group up in front of the final Thrashers and make sure we have all the upgrades and make sure we're maxed out. I think I end up using the Zerg Calldown for the final wave, or the final push.
Empire's right behind me.
What is it?
So yeah, some of the main things that are pretty unique to this that definitely I like to take advantage of every time. Oh, I just have so many minerals, I'm just gonna take everybody, all of my workers, and put them put them in the army, because why not? Give them all weapons. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty epic. Make sure everybody's geared up. So yeah, we have a completely maxed out army. We've taken all of our workers away. And yeah, we're just gonna go for it.
Is it already? Make it quick. Your queen.
Boom. And I think we're gonna end up getting 100 of the Imperial Mandate one more time before the end. And I think we end up nuking the last one. So definitely the things that I like to take advantage of with this commander that are some really good strengths that he has are being able to call down a bunch of troopers right away from the very beginning, sending multiple workers to build on a single structure, and having a ton of those Imperial Witnesses so that you can build up that Imperial Mandate very quickly, use the high-level calldowns very frequently.
Looks like the enemy is heading for us. Let's go save them.
And nuclear annihilation. A little bit late, but that was it. GG. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that like button. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But in any case, have a great day. Bye.